Hey. Alright everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2025, issue number 46. Elusive Samurai takes the cover this week. It's a cool cover. You don't often see Elusive Samurai covers. It doesn't get on the cover too often, so it's nice to see. I think it's a pretty neat illustration. I think it's the first time we've seen adult Tokiyuki on the cover. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. So there's that. Not much to say about it otherwise, though. Not a whole lot to say about news either. There is a Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo anime coming out, which is a huge surprise considering that was an Axe series. I mean, it lasted longer than a typical Axe series, but still got axed. I imagine this was picked up pretty early in its run by whatever studio is doing it. Pretty unknown studio, if I remember correctly. So, interesting. I would have never guessed that would happen. And additionally, Togashi has been tweeting a lot more, Yoshihiro Togashi of Hunter x Hunter. And it's looking like we are going to get chapters pretty soon. We're going to get a new batch probably after one of the series currently running gets axed. I'm thinking either, Ekiden Bros, Ping-Pong Peril, Odor of the Flame, one of those. By the end of the year or early next year, I think we will have another batch of chapters for Hunter x Hunter, which I am so excited about. Obviously, I love Hunter x Hunter to death. I have a podcast about Hunter x Hunter. Highly anticipating its return. That will be an incredible time. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the series within the magazine.
Feel the power of my magic!
The Elusive Samurai, Chapter 222, The Trio, 1352. Well, this is disappointing. Fubuki is back. He is really alive. A lot of people in the comments, and myself included, were talking about how maybe this would be like some kind of spiritual thing, like, coming in and metaphorically helping Tokiyuki in a moment of need. But no, he's just here, and the explanation for how he came back is absurd. And I know, like, this is how the series is. I mean, look at this chapter. Like, it's about throwing up on the main bad guy. Which, in and of itself, is like, what the fuck, man? I did not like this chapter. Not at all. This is honestly one of my least favorite chapters in this whole series, all around. I think Fubuki coming back is the worst mistake the series could have ever done. I am so annoyed about the fact that this happened that I want to, like, retroactively go back and take back my chapter of the week from when he died, because it's not as good anymore. And just the fact, like, they're just throwing up on Takeuji, and that's, like, the whole thing. And yeah, they acknowledge, like, oh, wow, this is gross, what the hell are we doing in the final battle? But you're still doing it. Calling it out doesn't really change much. It's so fucking weird. And I know that's this series. It's just a weird-ass series. But, it stings. I don't know. I don't like to see this. I was really hopeful for this series going into this final arc. But now I'm just feeling really down and out. And it's progressing really fast. Like, this final war is hardly a war. It's just we're fighting Takeuji, and that's it. It really makes you wonder what the pace of this, like, ending content is going to look like. I'm almost wondering I'm wondering now if this is going to be the thing that Hunter x Hunter replaces, because it might be ending really soon at this rate. The pace it's going, I don't know, man. This chapter was not for me by any means. I'm pretty disappointed in this one. Ichi the Witch, Chapter 54, Interloper. So we're being introduced here to this new character, this new magic named Kizashi, who has a very interesting dynamic here with Crow. But we don't really get a whole lot of substance from this chapter. It's kind of just setting up Kizashi and, like, who he is, which is fine. We get, like, a little tiny bit of insight into Crow, but not enough for me to really fully grasp the situation. I can tell he cares. You know, he really does want this child to be born. We do learn that he's being weakened by the child, having been conceived. It's like taking his power as it's being formed in the womb, I guess. So it's all really interesting stuff. That's, good additions to this narrative that's happening right now. I'm still very curious to see how this turns out. I have a bad feeling, but now that we're already kind of starting this fight with Kizashi here, I love this moment, by the way, with Ichi at the end, where it's like a passive skill got triggered. He's so robotic about it, just saying, like, death for death is triggered. I will hunt you. It's awesome as hell. But yeah, now that this fight's kind of like started, I'm wondering what the structure of this arc will be. It's probably going to be a smaller arc than the previous arc, but this could be like a round 1, round 2 situation. Like we'll fight here, maybe lose, or he'll get away, and then we'll have to go back and do it again. But just the fact that the whole scope of this arc is just like this ship, and that's kind of it, leads me to believe it's not going to expand too far out, but we do have a lot going on, and a lot of dynamics and thoughts to explore with the characters within this arc. So I don't know. I don't really know how this will be structured. I'm kind of just along for the ride right now, but a great setup so far. We're going to be getting into some action here, I suppose. Unless, I mean, he could just run away right now, honestly. And that's our round 1. Honestly, I kind of hope that is what happens, because I could use some more exposition here before we really get going on action. I just want to hear like a post this guy showing up conversation that Crow will have with the rest of the people. Maybe he'll start to open up a little more with them. Now that Ichi has shown that, you know, his resolve and his capabilities, maybe he can get some use out of them to get Kizashi out of here for good, because that would certainly help him at this point. But it could be a weird thing where he has mixed feelings about it, because he probably has some attachment to the Magics, I would assume. I mean, that's like his people, but at the same time, he's having a kid with a human, so like, might be some kind of like mental struggle there that he's dealing with. Just have to see. It's all speculation, but I'm really enjoying this so far. One Piece Chapter 1162, God Valley Battle Royale. Hell yeah. I guess briefly I want to talk about the Yamato cover story, since it finally ended today. And the reason I haven't really been talking about it in previous episodes is for 2 reasons. One being I kind of just wanted to wait till it was all over to just talk about it as a whole. And 2, it's not very good. This is kind of a very boring cover story. I love Yamato, don't get me wrong, but this just isn't an entertaining story, really. There were some details I liked about it, like I like the ulti and page 1 stuff, but beyond that, I don't know. It was just fine. Not a whole lot to chew on. It didn't really end how I thought it would end. Kind of thought Yamato would end up going out to sea or something by the end, but no. Just staying on Wano. Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of mediocre the whole way through. It was okay. Nice to see Yamato again, but I don't know. Let's get something else going. I'm guessing the next one probably be about the weird Vegapunk mech abomination that was created at the end of Egghead. That's my best guess at the next cover story. So anyways, chapter itself is great. This is just total wish fulfillment stuff. I mean, I am a little disappointed about the Kaido situation, because I thought, you know, you hear fish fruit and you see him turn into a dragon, so you assume it's going to be like the whole, you know, fish climbs up the waterfall thing, becomes a dragon. But no, he just is a dragon right from the get-go. He doesn't start as a fish and like evolves into a dragon. He's just a dragon. And, you know, it is what it is. I now find myself questioning why it's even called the fish fruit, because, I don't know, it is literally just a dragon. But yeah, just crazy awesome fan service stuff to see all these characters together doing things. I love it so much. This is what I live for. And it sucks that we have a break next week, because I'd just love to see this train keep rolling, but it is what it is. It's how One Piece goes nowadays. So, you know, usual negative thing I have to say about One Piece is just the paneling is a damn mess. It is so rough to look at. It's very hard to follow. And this chapter I was really feeling it, especially. Just kind of very hard to read and follow, but you know, you get used to it after a while. I am definitely capable of reading One Piece in its current form, but it doesn't necessarily mean I like having to decipher pages for longer than I should. But overall, still a really great chapter. Witch Watch Chapter 221, A Box That Is Blue. This was the page turn of the century. This is one of those chapters where you don't see the title till a few pages in. So you just start off, it's Witch Watch, and then you turn the page and there's Shinatsu from Blue Box. I can't say I was exactly expecting this. This is a very interesting chapter. I'm not like in love with it or anything, but it's fascinating. So it does appear to be like a collaboration of some sorts with Miura, who's the mangaka of Blue Box as well. So that's pretty cool. The contents of the chapter itself are just kind of whatever, to be honest. It wasn't like super funny, and I felt like Taiki was kind of out of character, but that's also like, I mean, they both were really, but they're also not actually themselves. Taiki still gets to keep his name for the most part, it's Taiki, what it was, Inomoto instead of Inomata. But Chinatsu is not even Chinatsu in this. It's a funny joke. It's Aono Hako, which is the Japanese title of Blue Box. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fine chapter. I liked it alone just for the fact of like I got that huge surprise of just seeing Chinatsu. Like my brain was lagging for a bit. It was like, what is happening? Like, am I reading Blue Box? Like, what is going on? I couldn't even. My brain couldn't rationalize what I was looking at. Yeah, this is about the last thing I would have guessed would happen in this series. But yeah, like I said, overall it was just a fine chapter. But what I do like about it is, I mean, the fact that it's like a crossover, but also it feels like a Nico chapter, but without Nico in it. It's like this is a problem that Nico would solve, but she's just not there. So now the boys have to do something in their own unique way to get the job done. And I like that. I thought that was a funny idea. But yeah, overall, just a fine chapter. Shock of the century. This is probably the most surprising thing I'll see in the magazine this week. I can almost guarantee it. Blue Box Chapter 215, that's youth for you. Part of me was wondering if we would get like a Witch Watch collab here as well to return the favor, but then I remembered where we left off last chapter. I was like, oh, you know what? No, I don't think that's going to happen. Unless Nico comes in and fixes Taiki's mom's appendicitis. But that didn't happen. Spoiler alert. Sorry to ruin that for you. Yeah, that's all that was wrong with Taiki's mom. The appendicitis. I mean, okay. Fair enough. It's not the most serious thing in the world, but yeah, it does hurt. But beyond that, really interesting developments are happening here. I love this sweet moment with Chinatsu just patting sleeping Taiki's head and just saying, "You got this. I'm with you." That's so sweet. Further exploring this new Taiki where he's losing it. He's like out of it in all directions. He doesn't know where to put his focus. And now we're gonna get to a very interesting thing here where we have a one-on-one between Taiki and Kyo, which I don't recall this ever happening before, and if it does, it wasn't like a high stakes thing. Yeah, this is pretty high stakes because this determines who gets to go to regionals between the two of them. Whoever wins this, I'm pretty sure if I'm understanding this correctly, just this one match will decide which one of them goes. I think maybe I don't know. I never played sports in high school. I don't fully know, but I'm pretty sure that's what this means. But is this like a tournament bracket? So I don't know. But I guess it's not like a double elimination. So I guess it's you lose once and you're done. That's what I'm thinking. So that's crazy. Taiki really needs to pull himself together then. I mean, Kyo, he hasn't really shown himself to be like super good at badminton, but that's probably the point here, because if Taiki loses to Kyo here, that means he's really losing it. But that sounds very insulting to Kyo. I love Kyo, but he hasn't really shown off his badminton prowess a whole lot throughout the course of this series, so I don't really know what he's capable of. I guess we'll find out. But regardless, just really great developments all around. I also like the conversation a lot between Chinatsu and their neighbor. I don't know his name yet. Going in interesting directions all around. I'm excited to see where it goes, as per usual. Akane-banashi Chapter 178, Purify by Straining. Another banger, guys. Oh my god, dude. It chills throughout my whole body. Once again, this page here of everybody, just a roaring applause. And you can just, the way it's drawn, it's so simple, but you just feel it. You know what this page sounds like. And there's no sound effects. And that's not new. That's done a million times, but it's just so impressive here because with so little, you're able to tell that this room is erupting. Like, this is the loudest applause ever, collectively losing their minds at the incredible performance they just witnessed. I love that detail, like, too, how it, she ends the story and it kind of holds for a sec because they don't know. They're just so locked into the story that they forget that they're even in a performance. They forget to clap. So good. And Shomei here with a smile saying that it seems that she's grasped the secret. So right away that tells me, yeah, she got him. Shomei is going to give a great score and she will likely win the competition. I still think Dark Horse here is going to be the other two judges. I'm wondering if maybe they will not understand what happened here, but I don't know. It's so obvious to everybody in the room how incredible this performance was. I can't imagine even they, who have not really demonstrated any notable characteristics, wouldn't understand this. But who knows? We'll find out next chapter. So that's the end of Akane's performance, though, and man, it was just phenomenal. I loved every second of it. This is peak Akane-banashi. I said that last week, but it continues. You know, this is just the best shit out there right now. Best in the magazine, easy. Currently, it's just so good. It's firing on all cylinders. It is damn near perfect right now. Phenomenal stuff, as always. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 6 Berserk. This is what it's all about. This is the like classic example of a JJK fight and what makes JJK fights so appealing. It's hard to even put into words for me. I don't really know how to explain what is so appealing about the JJK fights. They're just so engaging. I just I don't know a better way to put it. I can't specify it. It's just, it is what it is, you know. It's just good to look at. The choreography's next level all the time. This isn't Gege doing the art, but this artist, whose name I unfortunately forgot, Yuji Iwasaki, that's what it is doing a fantastic job in Gege's stead. I think this looks fantastic. I really loved this chapter. It was just, it brought me back, you know. This is the same feeling I had reading any other JJK fight. Specifically reminded me of like when Maki fought the dude, the sumo guy. I don't know why it specifically reminded me of that, because it really isn't similar at all, but that's just where my mind went when I read this. And I really like the new folds that they're bringing to the story with all this new Maru stuff going on. I think this will be really interesting. And I'm starting to understand like how this can be a smaller series, because it was kind of hard to grasp before, like, you know, how exactly you can tell like this whole story here and whatever, like 3 volumes or whatever it'll end up being. But I can kind of grasp it now. This just doesn't seem like it has to be a long story, you know. It's already moving at a much faster rate than, you know, let's say JJK was back when it started. There's a very clear path I see to getting to an end, even though it seems like a war is going to break out. But I feel like, honestly, this will be like another The Merge type deal where just they'll talk about it, hype it up, but it just won't happen. I don't foresee a war actually breaking out. I think it'll somehow be circumvented. But we'll see. I don't know. JJK is a hard one to predict, so I don't know what will happen. But regardless, great stuff. I really enjoyed this chapter a lot. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 64, The Cross Paladin, Goro Shishido. I'll keep this one brief, because not a whole lot to say about it, to be honest. Not my favorite chapter. It's entirely focused on the introduction of this character, Goro Shishido, who is fine. I don't love him or hate him or anything. And in fact, I feel nothing towards him currently. I think it's a decent enough introduction. It's got, you know, it's giving Todo, very Todo-like, which, you know, I love Todo, but if we're just going to do the same thing again. I mean, this isn't exactly Todo, it's just the idol obsession thing. This is a trope, you know, this is in other things as well. But yeah, I don't know, just I don't feel a whole lot in regards to this character currently. That's all I got. Sorry, it was a fine chapter. I don't know. I got to see more from him than just one chapter to really get my opinion set on him. But whatever. Good introduction, I guess. Just not super into it right now. Someone Hertz Chapter 5, Matching Pair. This continues to be a cute series, but it's kind of losing me a little bit. Like, I'm just very unclear of like the direction we're going right now, because it's moving at a strange pace. Like, the fact that he already got read instead of her on the show is wild for Chapter 5. But I don't know, maybe this is like a different, we're going for a different kind of thing here that I'm not understanding. It's not, like, the story isn't exactly what it was setting off to be, like a story about him surpassing her or whatever. I mean, obviously it's going to be about them falling in love, but that's going to take time because it's a romance series. That takes forever. Yeah, I don't know, it was okay. I liked the random One Piece reference. I thought that was mildly funny. The joke that got read on the show was awful. I that has to read better in Japanese, because that was kind of dog shit. And also, just a general thought I had is just the idea of listening to a radio show together through the phone sounds like a miserable experience. Especially because they're actually listening on radios. They don't have like pulled up on their phone or anything, like listening at the same time. They are on speakerphone listening to this show together. And I like you just hear the echo. You just hear each other's radio through the phones. That'd be a terrible nightmare experience. I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but more power to them, I guess. Kagurabachi Chapter 97, Vessel. This has been an interesting chapter. I'm very glad to see that the art is getting back on track, but it's still not at 100%. There's still a lot of unfinished panels and just kind of shoddier drawings than usual. It just leads me to continue wishing that they would just give Hokazono a break for a week. That's really all he needs. He's just got to catch up. He just fell behind with all the shit they made him do. I feel so bad for him right now. It's really bugging me. I don't know. Every week I continue to see it. And like, yeah, he's getting back to it now, but you gotta think like there's still gonna be so much work to do. Like he's gotta before the next volume comes out, he's gonna have to well not the next one, but probably 2 volumes from now, he's gonna have to go back and finish drawing the chapters he didn't finish before. It's just he's gonna be in an endless loop of trying to play catch up. I just wish they would give him a sec to catch his bearings, but no, he's just going. And I mean, maybe you could say that this is his decision. I don't know. Maybe he was offered a break but denied it. I don't know. I could not possibly know. But regardless, it's just kind of sad to see. I don't know. I hope he's okay. I know mangaka don't live very healthy lifestyles generally, so it's and with Hokozona being so young as well, it's just kind of sad to see the same things happening across all generations of mangaka. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it is fine. It's just kind of being over dramatized because we only get to see, what he puts out in the world. I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to spend too much time on the chapter because I don't know. You know me with this kind of stuff with Kagurabachi. I was really locked in on the Samura plot line. And then we go to this and I'm just not as into it, but I like it. I enjoy reading it. I just kind of am waiting for the shoe to drop that will really get me locked in. I just haven't quite got there. I'm expecting, chapter 100 will probably be a pretty big deal. We might see Chihiro come back by then. I don't know. We'll see. But it's coming up in a few weeks, so we'll see what happens there. In general, recent years, chapter 100s have been sort of a celebratory thing in most series, or at least just a big moment is saved for that chapter generally. So I'm expecting the same to happen here. I'm excited to see what that ends up being. Hima-Ten Chapter 62, What to Do on Xmas. Well, we're getting back on track. This is more of the Hima-Ten that I enjoy. We're getting less Hime-no here, but still more than I would like to have. I did think it was funny the moment, I really didn't involve her in any capacity. She was in the scene, but I don't even know why this is how little I care about Hime-no. This scene that she was just in the panel of, I'm saying is a good Hime-no scene, but the part where it's revealed that Kana failed all of her exams, every single one. Holy shit, man, that's really bad. I feel like everybody was treating that situation too lightly. That's kind of a massive deal to fail every single exam, but I don't run their lives. They can do what they want, I guess. But yeah, I do really like what's happening here with Himari. We're kind of playing like ping pong here with each of the girls, and I mean that's pretty typical for romance series like this, but I do like that each of them are getting notable moments as of late, and I suppose you can say that that is because of Hime-no, but I don't give a shit. This could have happened without her as well. I'm not complaining about her this week. She's barely in it. I have no space in this episode to talk about her. Forget it. Yeah, I'm glad to see we're getting back on track into things that I enjoy from this series. Really solid chapter through and through, I think. Can't complain too much. We Undercover Chapter 53, Awakened Blood. I love this color page, first of all. But then second of all, I have weird feelings about this chapter because I'm starting to realize that this series might just kind of be on a loop. Because, we're ending here with another save the day moment by Yodaka, which is always cool and hype and fun to see. But, just gonna keep being this over and over forever. I don't know, maybe this is sounding too harsh. I did like reading this chapter, but I just like, I have this weird nagging feeling in my head of just like, I don't know, is this all this series is? Is this all it can bring to the table? I don't know, much to think on with this. And you know, much to see as well. We just kind of have to wait and see with this series. It's in a weird, you know, chapter range where I never really know what exactly. Hima-Ten is actually in a similar chapter range right now, where it's just trying to figure out what it's doing, or at least we are trying to figure out what it's doing, because you know, the author probably knows where they're going, but we don't. I feel like it just kind of results in feeling lost. I don't. It's not like the story is hard to follow. I don't mean it that way. I mean it in the sense that I can't. I'm having a hard time envisioning what the future of this series looks like, which isn't necessarily bad. Being, you know, unpredictable, if that's what you want to call it here, isn't a bad thing. But I guess I'm just being, you know, I'm uncertain if this series will be able to hold my attention or keep itself interesting, you know. But again, I feel like I might be being a little dramatic here, because it's this on its own is totally fine. This was a pretty solid chapter. Despite not really caring a whole lot about most of the characters involved in it, I still enjoyed it, and I think that says a lot too. Yeah, I don't know, just a weird, uneasy feeling, I guess. Whatever, it's probably fine. It's just that that's what happens to be on my mind this week. In Roboco Chapter 253, Essays and Chizuru. That's right, a Chizuru chapter. I can't even tell you the last time that's happened. I almost forgot this character existed. And you know, he came back with a bang. This was amazing. No, I'm kidding. It was just it wasn't very good. I didn't really care for this chapter all that much. I mean, I don't know. This Roboco is a very hit or miss series, and this was definitely a miss for me. I didn't really get much out of it. I guess it was like, it's a mildly entertaining concept, but it wasn't really, not a whole lot was done with it that was funny to me. It's just pretty much what you would expect from the concept, I suppose, in the series, and that didn't really help it be funny, because a lot of Roboco's gags rely on the unexpected happening. Usually, like you have a thought of where it might go, or you know, it sets you up to think a certain way, and then it does something else. But this is just kind of like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I would expect to happen here. And yeah, I don't know, whatever. Again, critiquing comedy isn't exactly my forte, but I can tell you at least that I did not laugh during this chapter. So that's basically all that matters in the end.
What are you doing, step bro?
Anyways, Exorcist Chapter 118, Countermeasure. Guys, come on, this is getting ridiculous. Oh my god. Okay, another thing. This happens so often in New Age. It is hilarious. New Age fans, again, I'm always talking to you guys because I'm so fascinated by New Age fans. Tell me, how is this not hilarious to you? Do you take this seriously? Do you like it because it's funny? I don't know. Talk to me. Tell me more. I've heard a lot from you guys, but I'm just not grasping it. Obviously the series is not for me. That's been apparent from chapter 1. But I want to get it. I want to dig into your psychology, because I can't wrap my head around it. We have, for maybe the 40th time in this series, a moment where somebody is like, "Cock, man, you're gonna get like unlimited power. You're gonna get a huge boost. This is all you need, baby. All you gotta do is kiss this girl." This has happened so many times, and it's the same reaction every time from either Gakura or the girl. We're like, "A kiss? A kiss? What? I can't do that." It goes the same way every time. Like, he should be numb to it by now. Maybe he is. I don't know. He didn't really show much emotion in this chapter. It was pretty much all from the girl. I don't know, man. I'm at wit's end with this one. It's just so exhausting. It's the same shit over and over. How does this do anything for anybody at this point? It never ends. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't.
Oh, that's a baseball!
Harukaze Mound Chapter 17, Samurai Batter. Or Samurai. However you want to say it. I know I just looked like the white guy in the Yukata meme when I said that, but whatever. What can you do? I've been talking pretty highly about this series lately, and at least trying to get the message out there that you should hear this series out. Even if you're not into it, I think you should just let it do its thing. This is how sports series get off the ground. They need more time than other genres to get their footing. And this is the first chapter where I wasn't really feeling anything. Like, I don't really feel groundwork being done here. This one's just kind of a chapter. You know, it's doing a little bit here and there, like just more characters speaking to one another, I guess, is something you could call groundwork. But I don't know, less impactful than the other groundwork chapters thus far, and that's fine. But I personally really do think that sports series can't really afford to have a chapter like this so early. I really think every one of these chapters should be doing major strides in the ground and setting up the groundwork and doing the groundwork. But I didn't get that from this. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm like missing something that is crucial to sports series groundwork here. I don't know. But I just, yeah, I don't know. Whereas I have been getting a lot out of these chapters recently, I didn't get anything out of this one. So it is what it is. It happens. But just a little... It's just unfortunate, I guess. Whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter all that much. Unless this becomes a trend and we just have several chapters in a row of just nothing substantial. But I don't foresee that happening. I think this is just kind of a one-off situation. Just kind of reeling from the last chapter, I guess. It's like the cool down because it was so, you know, exciting. At least as exciting as an early sports chapter can be. Odor of the Flame, Chapter 22, Demigod. So this is cool. It's an action chapter. Not gonna be a whole lot to say about it. It looked nice. It was really cool. I love this form a lot. I think it's just sick as hell. Like, look at the thing where he's, like, you know, holding the guy up by with his tail by the neck. But yeah, it was really cool. It's very tropey at the same time, though, you know, because this is very, very exactly what you would expect it to be. It's like a rage power up, and then he gets calmed down by being brought down to reality by his friends. This happens in most shonen, like a lot of them. So you know, it's not unique, but it is cool looking, so I'll give it that. Yeah, beyond that, you know, it's a cool action chapter. The paneling is, again, it is improving, but it is still not perfect. There are small instances of, like, I didn't really know exactly what was happening, but you can use your mind to fill in the blanks, and that's fine. Other manga do that as well, but it just in a series that I've like harshly criticized its paneling for, it sucks to see it more here, I guess, or it stings more, because I want to see it do a lot better, and it's just kind of making marginal improvements as we go along, but that's still good. I don't know exactly how long the series is going to last. I feel like it is going to get axed still, but it's just being given a longer staying period than others, probably because they were hopeful in this artist, and I do think they will get another chance in the future, even if this does end. But again, this is all stuff we're going to talk about later if it does get axed. I won't bother wasting your time on that right now. Yeah, it was a cool chapter, just very tropey.
And it's mommy makeout day.
Chapter 16, Changed. This is a good chapter. I'm very happy to see that even though Ko got like what looked like the finishing blow here, we still got to let I don't know how to say her name really. I think Huazai. I'm pretty sure it's Chinese, and that's not exactly my forte. I got very used to pronouncing Japanese names throughout my entire life of knowing anime, but hit me with a Chinese name and I'm kind of dead in the water. Something like that, though. But the fact that she gets to come in and actually, you know, do what appears to be the finishing move here, I think, like, she at least gets to finish the fight. We'll probably see more of what that exactly looks like next chapter, but seemingly that's nice, and I like to see that. I don't like when main characters steal a moment from a side character just because they are the main character. It's nice to see an actual balance here. Yeah, good chapter all around. I'm you know, I can't say the series is exactly like impressive or anything. It's not like a mind-blowing game changer, but it is a solid read so far that I've been enjoying. I don't know if it'll last. It's hard to tell. It is ranking low, but it's kind of in that it's in the area of the TOC where it's just like it's hanging on by a thread. It's not exactly like flopping, but it's not doing amazing. It's just bouncing back and forth from like the bottom of the middle to the top of the middle, middle of the middle. You know, it's whatever. We'll see. It's doing okay though, I guess, seemingly, and I'm down to stick with it for as long as it lasts. I like it enough. Ping-Pong Peril Chapter 14, Hatred, and okay, well, this series is ending. This was announced also that the series is entering its final battle. And it certainly is very quickly. So I talked about before how it really felt like it was ending because we have damn near all of Tyra's debt being paid off with this one match, and of course he won. It was good. I enjoyed the match, but it's all soured because we're just moving so damn fast now. We're blasting off into space now. That's how we end this chapter. We're going into space for the final ping pong match. That is such an elevation. Like, this would have taken probably like 100 chapters to get there naturally, but now we're just going from street level stuff all the way to space. I'm sure it would have progressively gotten crazier and crazier if the series got to actually go the way it wanted to, but it's not. It's being cut really short. I don't even know if this is going to make it to like 18, 19 chapters. It's like really gunning for the end right now. This must just have not been doing well at all in Japan. Like, holy shit. This must be a bigger flop than I thought. That's a shame because I really think it's like super inventive and creative. I enjoy this series a lot, to be honest. And it had so much potential. That's what drives me crazy. Like, how could Shueisha not see the potential in this series? But I guess if it's just not doing well as it was, then maybe there's no reason to invest in it. That's a shame. So we got this series for a couple more weeks. I'm not exactly sure when it'll end. It's looking like it'll end pretty soon. And that's a bummer. Expected, but still sad. Yeah, what a shame. I really enjoy this series. But, regardless, hey, for the chapters we have left, it'll be fun to see a ping pong match in space with like zero gravity stuff. I hope that's involved. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this plays out, but just sad at the same time.
Bruh.
Akane-banashi Chapter 15, Keep His Place. Credit where credit's due. I guess this wasn't a terrible chapter by any means. It was still not great, but I like, you do feel the win, like it feels good. But it's still just not visually interesting. I got all the same shit. You've heard it a million times. But, this wasn't bad. I kind of liked like the victory moment. But, yeah, overall, just same kind of shit. I'm still not liking this series whatsoever. But I can definitely feel it getting near its conclusion as well. It's not going to be here much longer. I mean, we got like 3 chapters left at max. So ride it out, I suppose. If the last chapters can at least be as decent as this one was, at least it won't be a miserable experience. But it's not really, there's no use in like rooting for the series at this point, like seeing it, hoping it improves and, cheering it on, because I mean, it's done. It doesn't really matter what it does at this point. It's getting out of here. But I can at least see some improvements here. Very minuscule ones, but they're there. There's an effort, just not enough to win me over. That's going to do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2025, issue number 46. This was a pretty good week. It's, about the same as it's been for the last few weeks, just kind of an average week, but this one was solid. Most of the chapters were at least good. Nothing mind-blowing, except for Chapter of the Week, Akane-banashi Chapter 178, Purified by Shonen. Sorry, guys. It happened again. It's just sweeping. It's too good right now. I gotta give it up. It's just so far above everything else in the magazine right now. I have to acknowledge it every week. I can't just ignore it and give it to something else. This is how I feel, and this is just how it is as well. Tons of people in the comments agree as well that Akane-banashi is just completely killing it right now, and it's just, you can't deny it. It's hard to ignore. So, as much as it does suck to just keep giving Akane-banashi series of the week, I can't change the facts. It is what it is, guys. Its reign will come to an end at some point, I'm sure. We're just not there yet. That's all I got for this week. Next week, got issue 47, Ichi the Witch taking another cover. No surprise there. Series is doing ridiculously well right now. All right, so make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what your thoughts on this issue were, what your favorite chapter of the week was, what your least favorite chapter of the week was, anything you want to tell me about from this issue. Remember, you can also become a channel member where you get early access to videos, and you can also join at 2 tiers, both of which get you the early access. But at the Nice Prisoner tier, you can get your name put in the credit sequence, and at the Super Nice Prisoner tier, you can get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to my Super Nice Prisoners, DJ Tengen, Braden Farrell, Milu Kitty, Hexetnen Zuzudin, and Half Pipe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.